Well, if you haven't noticed by now, today's episode is going to be about polishing your Glock, specifically the barrel. You can polish other things on your Glock. However, today I am just going to go over the process of making your Glock two-tone by polishing the barrel. First things first, there is a small debate out there on the forums about this. In my opinion, for whatever it's worth, it is purely an aesthetic modification. I have found that when you go out to forums or you go out to the internet to ask questions and to find out things, rarely do you find facts. So I figured the easiest thing to do was just to call Glock myself. And I did this many years ago when I bought my first Glock firearm. And essentially what they told me is, yes, you can affect your first year warranty on your barrel by modifying the finish. However, the barrel itself comes with a Tenifer treatment on it. It's basically what protects your barrel from corrosion. Now the finish is black oxide. So the finish is what you would be taking off of the barrel. But the Tenifer treatment actually goes down 3 or 4 microns past the steel. So when you take off that finish, you're barely hitting half a micron. And that's coming straight from Glock. Now I've done this modification ever since I've owned Glocks, so I would say about 4 of mine have this two-tone finish on it, and it is purely aesthetic. There's no tactical advantage, obviously. I don't really see a functional advantage, although there are people that have an opinion that it does improve some of the functionality of your firearm. I haven't seen anything like that. But the only reason I really do it is because I prefer a little bit of a two-tone finish on my firearm. Essentially what you're getting when you perform this modification, and I'll clear my firearm first here. So you're taking the black oxidation off and exposing this more steel finish to your firearm. And I don't know how well that's coming out on camera. I'll have obviously a more cinematic shot of this later. Coolest feature of this modification is you can get your barrel any finish of mirroring that you prefer. If you want it to get it mirror chrome, you could, but I like more of a satin finish in my barrel, so that's what I usually choose. That's what I'll do today on the tutorial on the Glock 19. But on this 30S and my other 2 Glocks, I pretty much choose to do this satin finish. I feel like that looks the best. This is the Glock 19 that I'll be finishing today. Obviously you can see it has the black oxide coating still on it. And I'll only be taking that coating off of the barrel, not the slide. I have seen people take the coating off the slide. It does give you a much more pronounced two-tone look, but that is just a little bit too much for me. Really, you don't need much to get this done. I use a Dremel with a polishing pad. I use white vinegar or cleaning vinegar, and I use some car polish. Soap your barrel in dish soap prior to putting it in the vinegar. That's only because you want to get those oils off of that before you start to impact that black oxide coating. So that is an important step. I'm about to get into the tutorial. I'll list all of the items that you need, and I'll try to narrate the steps as best as I can. Now that the boring stuff is out of the way, we can get into polishing your Glock and how to make it two-tone. All right, you gotta have a gun to do this. Make sure you buy the tactical vinegar and the tactical soap. Ask an employee. This is where you're going to use that tactical dish soap to get all the oils off your gun barrel. Soak your barrel in that tactical vinegar. Try not to spill any because it's tactical. It might harm your floor.
12 seconds later. 1 minute, 37 seconds later. Moments later. More moments later. Two hours later. A lot of boring math later.
I found that 3 or 4 hours will do the trick. Just enough to interfere with that black oxide so the polishing's a little bit easier. I use a Dremel with a felt pad to polish up my barrel. You'll see though, there's a mix of hand polishing as well. I feel like the Dremel speeds up the process to an extent, but overall to get that sheen on your barrel, you're going to want to do some hand polishing as well. After about 45 minutes to an hour, you should start to see the shine come through on the barrel, and probably an hour and a half total of polishing will get you to where you want to be as far as a finish. I would say from start to finish, you're probably looking at 5 hours to get this done on your Glock. So if you got a free open Saturday or free open day off and you want to make your Glock look just a little bit different, you can certainly get this done relatively easily.